Good afternoon, people. Let's talk about it. Now, when record labels don't know how to promote you, that is a question that everybody has asked. A lot of artists have asked it. Successful multi-platinum artists have asked this question. So it's not something that is just far off and people don't understand it. This is a real question. This is like real life. People ask this question all the time because they don't understand it. Absolutely. There's a lot of flaws that come along with the process. One of the main flaws is that you're dealing with a situation that is unprecedented. Like, oh yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, I'm glad you did, but still I'm seeing the same type of problem here. Like we started off with momentum and then it just stops and like dead in its tracks. That's not supposed to happen. But anyway, we keep it moving. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. The Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. Like for an example, we're gonna use the Griselda situation. When Eminem signed Griselda to Shady Records, when M was doing the revamp of the record label, because the record label was losing a lot of money. Eminem wasn't selling records. Eminem put out a lot of records that didn't sell, and the record company was not doing well. So he had to go lace it up, go back out there, and start performing. He had to breathe life back into Shady Records because they can't have Shady Records fold. Now, here's the news. Shady Records didn't know what to do with Conway and Westside Gunn. They didn't know how to market them, and I knew that this would be a problem because they had so much momentum before they even went to Shady Records that when they signed him, I was like very shocked. And I'm like, well, and Joe Budden brought it to the world's attention. This when he was awake, Joe. He was like, let's pay attention here and see what happens. It's a very key word. Let's pay attention and see what happens. And I'm not going to say that Eminem deliberately wanted to submerge them down. I don't think some record companies don't know how to promote certain artists. They don't. Like some artists, some record companies, like J. Cole, they don't know how to promote J. Cole. They just don't. So you're stuck. You're stuck with this whole restructuring, an entire ordeal of people trying to make moves and trying to put budget money around you, but they don't know how to put the budget money around you because they're like, okay, well, what's the marketing plan? And the plan doesn't make sense in a lot of areas. In the back of their mind, they already know what they're going to do. Well, some of it is on the artist, but a lot of it is on the record executives. They have to know, okay, this is the type of artist I have. I got to have a plan for that. In other words, why would you sign them? If your marketing plan was for, let's go back to Griselda, Conway, if we looking at Conway and we looking at West Side Gun, let's take a look at that for a minute. Now, if we're looking at that, I could tell you specifically, their plan was to try to boost Eminem more than it was to boost Conway and West Side Gun. And they're going to say, well, Eminem don't need that. He's Eminem. What does he need with West Side Gun and Conway? Like, I mean, Eminem could sell without them. What Eminem don't need have is the streets. The streets buy records. The streets determine what's hot. So if you don't have any street artists or people that relates to the streets, and if you're attaching yourself to them, putting Conway on the Bang, Conway and Eminem Bang, that song, that was more about Eminem than it was Conway. And then Shady Records is like, okay, why is it? So that's somebody in your department dropping the ball. Now, there could be some other things behind it. It could be some, they're not going to push it because he's getting ready to leave the label anyway. So they like, screw it. We'll just take the loss. You know, this dirty politics. It's the record label's album, not yours. That's what sometimes the artists don't understand. This is their album. If they want to promote it, fine. You perform on the album, but the album really belongs to the record label. It's their baby. So as long as the record label is doing everything in their possibility to make things happen, then what is anybody even talking about, really? It's their decisions. But if you're an artist, of course, it's frustrating when you got a vision and they don't see your vision. They have their ideas on what they think your project should look like. Like, do anybody know the song that got Nicki Minaj to where she is now? I bet you probably not one of you can name that song. Nope. That's the one that gave her her credibility as an MC. But nope. 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 Oh man, we're gonna be here all day. I can't believe nobody knows the answer to this. There you go. There it is. Somebody finally said it. Super bass. Super Bass is her biggest song. You didn't know that, did you? Super Bass is the song that crossed her over to all those teeny boppers, and she got to the Taylor Swift and the Katy Perry crowd. Super Bass is a horrible song to me. But it is a song that people loved, and it crossed her over from female rapper to a pop star. This wasn't even a record the record company even wanted to promote. It became popular within white suburbia. White suburbia loved Nicki Minaj, and they made a video that was white suburbia friendly. And they didn't, all her lyrics and all the rest of her songs didn't match that song Super Bass. So all the little teenage suburbanite girls was playing that song. That song was not played really hardly ever in the black communities. That's why none of you was ever saying that song. See how none of y'all was saying it? None of you were saying that song. You know what that's called? Promotion. Marketing. They knew what song was going to cross over. The producers, everything, that was the crossover hit. So knowing how to promote your artist is a very key element in hip hop. You have to understand every artist is different. Some might be very similar, and you can use the same selling tactics that you use for this artist, for that artist. Sometimes you have to trust the creativity. Your artist might have a great idea, like Kanye West. He was a genius with marketing. You just have to follow it and trust in it, and it might work out for you. Don't forget to hit that like button again. The notification. If you're new here, subscribe. I decided to talk to you a little bit about the business of hip hop. If you own my Carcino for Life Patreon, you already seen the Tupac and Sean Penn situation that went down that a lot of people don't know about. That's it on there today. We got a couple of more surprises coming today as well. I told you, November, we finna roll it all out. Oh, we got some news Jeezy ain't gonna like. You know, I know he's going through something right now with his girl, but he ain't gonna like this news either. Now, he said, I erased that song from my mind. So, when the record company loses connection with their artists, they try to use a tactic of, okay, let's look at our budget. This artist is not going to make it. How long do we have him under contract for? Just keep him out there. Don't push his album out. We're not going to waste money releasing it and going through that process. Keep him on the label. We'll just pay him monthly till his contract runs out. Then he can go elsewhere. Then he can pay back and buy his album back from the record label. Like the album that they already was promised that he delivered or may not have delivered. If they owe it, sometimes they say, we know you owe us. We're willing to wipe that off. And you can just be free to go sign a contract somewhere else. We could just stop paying you. All of those things come into play. So I wasn't going to make this a long video. I just wanted to give you guys some quick insight on the subject. And I did that. So it's a lot of other videos for you to watch. Do that. and I'll get back with you directly. Carcino for life. I'm out.